A secret affair, murder, and an ex-husband. This sounds like a Wattpad story gone wrong. What happened? Because whatever happened ended up in a man being dismembered by his ex-wife. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Your girl got bangs now. First of all, new wig. How do we like it? I cut the bangs this morning and I'm not mad at it. Also, I'm playing with the light over here, y'all, because when I do my room, I got so much to tell y'all. So if y'all don't want to hear all this, you can skip up because it's about me being how I had food poisoning. It's a lot going on. Real quick though. I moved my room around because I cannot, when I'm not in the mood, I have to when I can't record, the aura's off. So I have to move my room around. Like, y'all see me all over this room. And I'm back in a corner. The bangs is really cute. I love the bangs. But there's so much going on. But I'm also playing with the light because it's like, when you do it too bright, it gets too bright. But when I lower it, and it's just because I'm in a corner, it's weird. I think I'll keep it like this. Yeah. I think it's okay. But yeah, let me kind of tell y'all what happened. Let me catch y'all up. The video I just I recently uploaded was it was before Halloween, and now this is November. This is my first video with my first video in November, actually been in November. So let me tell y'all, I had the worst weekend ever. I'm off today. Today is Monday. I'm off, and it's only because I took an extra day off. I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday off now because it's a paid day. I took that. I don't even know how to start this. So let's just get into the horribleness. I worked 7 days straight to get these 3 days. Really 2 days, but 3 days because I had it. I was not supposed to work Friday morning, but I ended up work Friday morning. I had plans this weekend, y'all. I had plans to go somewhere, but they got postponed, and I was like, okay, whatever. This is why you do stuff for yourself. No offense. This is why you have to do stuff for yourself, because you can't. Oh my God. I got a call saying that somebody so-and-so called out. They have nobody to cover. And I'm like, okay, I'm just talking about my trip. And that was at work during the time that day before Halloween. And I was like, okay, my plans got postponed. I can do morning because we literally had nobody, y'all. I was like, I'm doing deliveries. We had nobody. So I ended up doing that. And I was like, I woke up, y'all, and I had I barely could talk. My uvula swole. It was like everything hit me at once. My period started and I was on heavy. I was cramping bad. My uvula was swollen and I was like, oh my God. And that was Saturday. So I couldn't even go out that night because I was going to go have a sister date with my sister, my real sister. We was going to go to K-Pot and stuff our face with Korean barbecue and hot pot and margaritas and drinks. My whole weekend got ruined. And I was like, what did I do? I'm over here what did I do? What karma do I have when I didn't do nothing wrong? All I've been doing was working, helping my mom, that's it. But you know what? It's okay. So I told her I have to postpone it. I was like, because there's no way I could go out. I said, this is horrible. It got worse overnight. I couldn't eat anything. My uvula, if you don't know what that is, learn your body. It's the little wiggly thing in your mouth at the back of your throat. That happens with allergy season and when I'm stressed. I don't know, y'all. It was too much. So that happened. And I was like, oh my God. So then cramps hit me. Sunday rose up. So my whole Saturday was just in pain. Sunday, yesterday, I get up and I was like, let's go to the store. I'm still in it's going down. I feel better. I'm still cramping, but I'm on heavy now on my cycle. I go get breakfast from my favorite place, which has, no offense, went down. I dropped it 1-2 stars because of this. It's my favorite place out here for breakfast. Y'all, I ordered my food. An hour later, I had food poisoning. I got food poisoning. And I guarantee you it's because of those eggs. I said medium, but I don't know. It was too much liquidy white. I didn't notice that until I cut it. And I'm like, okay, I had runny eggs before. I don't see a problem, but I feel like it was a problem. As much stuff as they're recalling, all I had was the biscuits, the medium eggs, fried potatoes under there, and the white gravy. So it's obviously the white gravy or the eggs. I'm not supposed to be eating dairy either, but Yo, I was groaning in pain for like 8 hours. It was so horrifying. That were hard cramps and on my cycle. I was like, oh my God, this was top tier, like just horribleness. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I was so happy I called today off. Like Monday, I was like, thank God I called today off because there's no way I can go into work. It was awful. I still feel a little, it's just regular cramps now. Y'all, yesterday was the worst day, minus me having COVID, because y'all know I did have COVID this year, and I was out for like a week, and I was actually, I was in the hospital, 106 fever, but this is behind it. That food poisoning was crazy. So I'm not going to go there for a while, and I'm not going to order the eggs no more. I think that's a sign that I need to actually go plant-based and stop playing and stop eating dairy, because I'm not supposed to be eating it. But, woo, y'all, I had to get that out. I had to get that out. It was just so much going on. First of all, I keep looking at the bangs. They're too cute. But since I had today free, I feel a little bit better. Wish I had a margarita, but it's okay. I was like, let's get back into recording. I'm gonna have this video uploaded and edited for you guys today. We have crime to talk about. Also, y'all, I have a blank, it's like 2 things, which I might take them off. I have a blank document of cases, which means I need to get back into research. So that's also what I'm going to be doing today. I got to build the list back up because there's too much crime. I have not had time to actually do that. Work has been taking over my life, but it's okay. This is story been going on too long. Let's just jump right into it. Why do people kill? Why do people murder? Why do women murder? Why do women murder? It's weird. I think murder in general is weird. Right? Especially when you dismember somebody. We have a man who was dismembered, shot in the back multiple times by his ex-wife. There's also an affair involved. This sounds like a crazy Lifetime movie. It's because you don't really hear about women dismembering men. What if she had help? I just don't think, like, anybody could do it. We know that. But, like, it's very rare for a woman to do that. I would think a lot of women wouldn't want to see that. But, you know, maybe she had, like, he had a girlfriend, by the way. So maybe she was jealous. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on this case, by the way, y'all. I just saw the title and I was like, dismembered by ex-wife, chopped up, chainsaw, affair, what? We're going to jump right into it because we're reacting to it off law&crime. Y'all know me. Let's get into it.
Decorated Green Beret and physician assistant student was found dead under shocking circumstances out in North Carolina. Circumstances that prosecutors allege involve his wife, Shayna Cloud, amid divorce plans and a possible affair. And now, months later, the official autopsy report has been released, and this is revealing deeply disturbing details. We are going to break it all down with a coroner and nationally recognized forensic expert. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
So real quick, my theory, I'm going to theorize because I know I'm not going to watch the whole video, but I'm going to get most of it. Because they talk about the crime itself until it gets to like more of like the asking questions about the coroner. I want to tell you, I'm thinking there's money involved. She probably didn't, like he wanted a divorce because she was probably crazy. Or something like she was jealous. And she don't want nobody else to have him. Maybe. Because if she's the one having an affair, why are you mad? It's just alleged. I don't know if it was her having an affair. Or maybe she killed him because he was having an affair. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Disturbing 911 phone call came in on February 25th, 2025 from a man who owned property off Gainey Road in Cumberland County, North Carolina. He thought he was just checking on land that he rarely visited. Instead, he stumbled onto something that was absolutely horrifying. A mutilated human body drifting in a pond.
Cumberland County Services, is this an emergency?
Yes and no. It's got a pond on it, and I stopped by to check on the property in the house I got here, because I don't live in it. And it looks like there might be a part of a body floating out in the water. And it looks like that's what it is. I'm not sure, but like it's been there a while, because there's no legs or arms or nothing on it.
And that would turn out to be the remains of Clint Bonnell, a decorated Green Beret veteran, physician assistant student, a family man who disappeared weeks earlier. And what unfolded from there was a murder case that prosecutors allege is filled with deception, marital turmoil, and forensic revelation. And when we last brought you this case here on...
And real quick, let me go on and say this too. Because if y'all know me, I stand with women, okay? In general, I do. Now, there are times like this. When you kill somebody and I can't stand with you. As a woman, I will not stand with you. It's like you dismember somebody. Anybody who can do that, you're sick. If that person wasn't trying to kill you, mind you, I still could not dismember somebody. That's like another level of like, you're sick. If you can look at what you did and discard, you're a sick person. That woman's sick. I don't care what she did, she's sick. Disgusting. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't like that stuff. That's so gross, and it's just so, it's just so disgusting. It's heartbreaking for him. You know, his family can't have a proper burial now because of you. Because of what you did. And no matter what happened, I don't think anything can justify like dismembering somebody. Like that was a human being. And that's with anything. It's like you see serial killers who do this stuff. It's like, how do you, now they're sick. They get a perverse pleasure from it. Like I don't understand people who can really cut up the body. Like, you're disgusting. But this just goes to show you guys, like I always tell you, there are women who do this too. And they're sick. I don't know. And can we talk about finding the body? Oh my God. Now, he better than me. You know, some people keep their cool out of shock because you don't know what you're looking at. Now, if he said he saw arms in the torso, when I tell you, I make that 911 call, I don't even know if I can talk. I would probably be like panting and hyperventilating on the phone if I seen something like that. I'll probably run far away from it. Or, knowing me, I like look at stuff for a while, so I might be trying to see what it is. But that's just so sad. Like, I'm the person, y'all, I constantly look at stuff. Unfortunately, my sister did say, no offense, that I'm like the white person in the family. And that's not being rude. It's just because, like, off the movies, be for real. White people look at stuff, they run, they fall. That's me. But at the same time, I am also a curious person. Like, I'm not going to open the suitcase, but like, it's a water stream by me and I'm constantly looking over there because I'd be like, what if I just see something over there? I don't know why I look, but it's like a curiosity. And I don't know. I'm not opening the suitcase, though. I'll tell you that.
Sidebar was just after authorities had made a shocking arrest, charging none other than Clint's wife, Shayna Cloud, with his murder. But now, the newly released autopsy results, they are shedding disturbing new light on exactly what happened to him, according to officials. And we are going to get into those very disgusting details inside that report. But first, if you haven't been following this case, here's how we got here. So the case begins on January 28th, 2025, because that is when Clint, who was studying to become a physician assistant, failed to show up for class at Methodist University. And a program director grew very, very worried because this was completely out of character for Clint. According to his family, he was deeply devoted to his career path, so him not showing up didn't make any sense. That concerned program director made this 911 phone call to request a welfare check at Clint's home.
Cumberland County Emergency Services. How do I go about getting a welfare check performed on a resident of Cumberland County?
We can put the call in. What's the address?
It is 3265 Butler Nursery Road.
At least you have
Is that
somebody
off
to
the
care.
87?
Yep.
And what's your name?
So I'm the program director at Methodist PA program, and one of our students, he's an older student in his 40s. He hasn't shown up all day today. He hasn't been in class at all, and they have class every day of the week. Some of his classmates spoke to him last night. I think around 7 or 8 p.m. was the last time they heard from him by text. But all the numbers that I have for him are going straight to voicemail. He's not responding to email or anything. It's very out of character. He's former military. He lives alone. We know that he lives alone, and his wife is in Virginia, and daughter lives in Florida. So I don't know if anyone's looking for him except us. And I wouldn't normally call, but it's completely out of character.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. And are you at that location now?
I am not.
Okay.
I am in, actually, my faculty called me to let me know he still hasn't shown up. They had class that was supposed to start at 8 this morning, and they're still in class. And No one's heard from him all day.
Okay. I need to get his description. What race is he?
He's white male, maybe 5'10", 5'11". He's got like brown hair. It's not real short, but medium, like not real long. Fit.
How old
Probably maybe he's in his late 40s, maybe 46, 47.
And what's his name?
Clinton is his full first name, Bonnell. Bonnell. He goes by Clint.
Does he have any physical, medical, or mental conditions that we need to be aware of?
Not that we are aware of.
Okay. And you may not know the answer to this question too, but I have to ask you, does anyone have access to weapons?
His book bag, his wallet, personal belongings, they were inside. There was no Clint. His wife, 51-year-old Shayna Cloud, told deputies she hadn't seen him since the day before, on January 27th, when she said they had worked out together at a nearby Fit for Life gym. According to Shayna, the two of them worked out at this gym. They left in separate cars. She said Clint told her he was headed to Methodist University to study for an upcoming exam. But when investigators pressed her further, she claimed she couldn't remember if he ever came back home that night. And according to an application for search warrants that we reviewed in this case, deputies noticed a few other odd things. For example, Clint's car, a Mercedes, that he almost always drove, was still parked at the house. And despite her husband being missing, Shayna refused to file a missing persons report, according to authorities. But let's talk about what happened later that same day, because you see, that is when deputies get a second call. This one from Clint's girlfriend. Yeah, turns out Clint was reportedly having an affair. And what this girlfriend told investigators seemingly contradicts Cloud's account. Because per the application for a search warrant, this girlfriend said Clint told her he met with a divorce attorney on January 27th. She also said that he texted her later that night around 7:53 p.m. saying he had told Shayna about the divorce and was going to bed. Cell phone records would later confirm that Clint's phone pinged at his house that evening and into the following morning, January 28th. And after that, his phone apparently went offline suspiciously until January 30th. January 31st, investigators returned to the Bonnell home with a search warrant. And what they found deepened their suspicions. Why? Clint's book bag and laptop appeared to have bullet holes. By February 1st, investigators expanded their search into Virginia, where Shayna had owned property. And with the help of Virginia State Police, they seized her car, phone, they searched a rental property. And that same day, Shayna admitted to deputies that she had confronted Clint about a note that she believed was from his girlfriend. And then you go to February 25th, right? The chilling discovery of this torso in a pond just a few miles from Clint's home. And going back to this call, the 911 caller's words painted such a grim reality.
Cumberland County Emergency Services, is this an emergency?
Yes and no. It's got a pond on it, and I stopped by to check on the property in the house I got here, so I don't live in it. And it looks like there might be a part of a body floating out in the water. And it looks like it's that's what it is. I'm not sure, but like it's been there a while, 'cause there's no legs or arms or nothing on it.
Okay. And just to clarify, is it still ongoing? Is that correct?
No, there's nothing going on. It's just out here in the middle of nowhere.
Then we go to March 28th. DNA confirmed the remains belonged to Clint Bonnell. And on that...
Okay, let's talk about this for a little bit. Okay, look. Oh my God, how scary is all of this? It's like a horror film. Like, I feel like I like forgot I was recording, y'all. I'm like, oh my God. So if he was cheating, okay, look, be for real now. I don't justify murder for cheating for anybody. Okay, if your husband cheated on you, you can go cheat too, and you can also leave. I know some people are very emotional. I don't think that, you put a gun on him. If he, wants to leave, let him leave. I'm saying that murder is not the answer to cheating. Okay, he cheated. The man's a lowlife, okay? take your kids and leave. Take your child and leave. Because now your life is ruined now. This could be a case of that she just wanted to kill him too, just because if the whole thing is that he cheated and now she wanted to kill him, that the rage overcame her and she just saw red. It's like, no, it's not worth it. Like, I don't understand why. This is gonna sound bad too. I was gonna say, well, no, I'm not gonna say that, because like, men and women can be emotional, but like, some people do take it out there. Now, y'all have heard me say many times in these videos that for me to take it there with somebody, especially a husband of mine, if it ever go that far, not dismembering them, but you know, doing what you gotta do, that's only self-defense if he try to kill me. If the man try to kill me, like, that's when we're neck to neck and somebody going out. That's all I know. But like, to allegedly, like I'm saying allegedly because I don't know the whole thing yet, to dismember this man, dump his body, like after you found a letter and then find out he's cheating after you confronted him, that's where we stopped right here, y'all. I'm just saying. That's so crazy to me. Because it's like, all you had to do, you could talk about it, he'll lie, or he'll tell the truth, they're going to get out the relationship. And as adults, you know, you yell at each other. You confront him about being, I hate you. Why would you do this to me? You have a family. All that, what, you know, the typical stuff you do to a cheater. And then you'd be like, okay, I'm going to leave. Now, he'll probably beg you not to go. Or if he didn't really care, as this man did not, if he was in a relationship with somebody else, he'll be like, okay, then let's go on and end this. We can fight over custody and have an agreement. I guess that's what it should have been. But many people don't do that. It's like, it's a lot of hatred, which I can see, that goes into cheaters. You know, you'd be like, you don't even want to look at their face anymore. She could have just, until I finished this, she could have just, you know, left, and after she found the letter, took her kids and go live her life, take him for everything he had. You could do that. Take all his money. Why, if y'all share a bank account now, this is a good route. You could take all his money, clear it out after you find everything. Get all his stuff in the house, sell it. That can make a mess. Sell all his stuff. And you can write cheater all over the house. Y'all, I'm sorry, this is so extreme. It's so extreme. But I'm saying, there's other routes to take than murder. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But it's also sad, even though he was a cheater, like, nobody deserves to lose their life like that and get shot in the back, which they're going to talk about with the coroner, and get dismembered. Nobody ever deserved that. Not even the cheater. Like, if you cheat on me, I'm just going to embarrass you if I care that much. Now, if the relationship had nothing going for it, it's just boring and he's cheating, obviously he was done with it. It was probably unrepairable. Live your life. Go do your own thing. Go cheat too. There y'all go. There you go. You can, you know, open relationships are not bad.
That same day, authorities arrested Shayna Cloud on suspicion of first-degree murder and concealment of a death. And now, months later, the official autopsy report has been released. And that report that was reviewed by local media seems to confirm some very disturbing details. So to help me break down what this report says, I want to bring on a special guest. We're joined once again by Dr. Nada Rutherford of the Richland County Coroner's Office. I am so happy to have you on, Doctor. Thank you so much for taking the time. When you hear about...
Okay, real quick, I just remember what I was about to say to y'all. I had something to tell y'all. So I was doing a delivery the other day, and this what made me think of something like this. Look, I was doing a delivery, and the house I went to, it was on like a look. I had to turn into this neighborhood, and I turned on the next street, and it was like a whole curve of houses. They're close, but they're not too close, but they're close. So this house, the type of houses, the garage is like where people, I was like, where do these cars park? They park on like a street behind the houses. That's how it is. So I'm in the front and I parked across the street because I didn't want to block the curve. As I park, I see cops come up, like 2 cop cars, and it was like 4 cops in total, 2 each. And they were going to a house, like a couple houses down right in the middle. I was like, oh my God. So I went to go deliver, and then I went in the car and I saw them go up there. They all got out, and I'm nosy. So I drove past it and I parked. Like, when I tell y'all, I'm a nosy person. I parked a couple houses down where they really couldn't, like, they're not looking at me, but I could see them perfectly in the mirror. I was watching. I turned that car off. Also, I didn't want to park, think somebody had a delivery, so I parked kind of like in between. And I just turned off everything and I let the window down and I heard them talk and I heard them beat on the door. I was like, what is happening? The first thing they do, I knew something was wrong. The first thing they did, they're checking around the house, checking under the car. They checked in like the behind the they had somebody at the door beating on the door. Somebody was checking around the backyard because they all huddled up and then went separate ways looking. I was like, oh my God. And it was a car there. So it was like, really, I was just, the whole time, y'all, I'm thinking, what if there's like somebody, like a body missing? Like, what is like, now I thought it was a domestic violence call. I kind of still think it is, because that's kind of what happens. If somebody called 911, they say, oh, somebody's outside my house. And the first thing that man did was knock on the door when they couldn't, like when somebody didn't open it, they started like looking around, and then he was beating on the door. I was like, oh my God. They also could have been looking for a fugitive, possibly, but I know somebody called the cops and probably did a welfare check on them too, on that house too. But that was just so scary. I had to eventually leave because I was at work. But I was just like, they were beating on that door, and they couldn't get a hold of that person. There was a car outside. It was just so eerie to actually see it. I was like, this is like an eerie feeling that somebody's in there that could be dead. I said I was going to look that up later, and I might look it up now to see if anything happened. Let me get back to this. Sorry, y'all.
About a case like this,
It's gonna be
where
a long
a
video.
dismembered body is found weeks after a disappearance, particular location, this watery location, what immediately comes to your mind? What are some of the immediate challenges that investigators and coroners face?
The immediate challenge is that you have part of the body. That's the biggest issue. So when I saw the autopsy results revealed, I was like, oh my gosh, you've got a gun, you've got dismemberment, and you have a woman possibly scorned. That's a deadly combination. So not only does this torso have waterlogged and water damage, wet things break down faster, you're going to lose so much evidence just because of the fact that the body's in the water. You have a dismemberment, so you don't know where the head and the limbs are. You're going to have to bring in so many experts to help you. I don't care how great of a medical examiner or coroner you are going to have to find an expert forensic anthropologist to help you break down what happened to this body.
And let's try to talk about it now. So according to the Fayetteville Observer, the autopsy was performed on February 26th at the office of the chief medical examiner in Raleigh. This is just one day after that torso was recovered. And the findings reveal that Clint Bonnell was shot 4 times in the back before his body was dismembered. The pathologist noted 4 entry wounds in his upper and lower back. Each bullet traveled through the body, exiting through the chest. And because the torso had been submerged in water, there was no GSR that was preserved. There was no gunshot residue that was preserved, meaning investigators couldn't determine how far the shooter was from the victim when the bullets were fired. There were no bullets or bullet fragments. Now, there are some really, really horrific details about the dismemberment listed here too. We will get to that. First, Nada, from your perspective as a coroner, the trajectory of these wounds, right? How accurate is that analysis, is that conclusion, and what does that trajectory tell you about a case like this?
So when we're looking at GSWs in a body, we want to be able to look at the path that they go through the body so that we can determine which of the shots may have been the fatal injury. So this is where you're seeing in an autopsy, especially when you look at court photos, how they have the probes into the wound so that you can see exactly the trajectory. But the way this body was found, there are some things missing here, like the internal organs. Some of the internal organs are missing. Why that is, I don't know. Did she cut them out or allegedly cut them out? What happened there? And the fact that those organs are missing, we lose a lot of that trajectory information that we would have gotten had they been in place.
But the trajectory from the back, right? Would that signify that Bonnell didn't know the shots were being fired? Was he in a position of running away? It's different than if someone shot directly in the head or in the chest, right? The positioning of that is very significant. And by the way, the problem is, as I mentioned, you have that loss of GSR. You have that loss of gunshot residue evidence. So how much of a challenge is that in determining how this shooting took place?
It's going to be difficult to determine the range that the shooter could have been at in order to determine what exactly happened. So was he laying down and she shot him in the back? Was he running away? Was he trying to walk away from her after maybe a difficult conversation about wanting a divorce? We don't know that. We also don't have a head or limbs to be able to determine if those have gunshots to them. So the medical examiner explicitly stated that with the information that he has in front of him, that the gunshot wounds are the cause of death, right? But then you also have this dismemberment that has occurred. And I know we're going to talk about that in a lot more detail, but the trajectory of the bullets, somewhat important, but in this case, not so important. We know that this person is dead. We know that this is a homicide. Now just proving which of these things is the fatal injury is going to be important for the medical examiner to include in that report.
And again, before we get to that, the idea of the projectile.
It's also very interesting that we don't have the head. I feel like I'm a detective over here. Now, y'all hear how she said you got to get the specialists up in here, forensic anthropology. I wanted to study forensic anthropology. I still want to study that, and also fibroids. I did that with my senior paper. That's actually what I did in college. My senior paper, I did that. I was in my senior year of college. I did it on fibroids. But also, I like to study bones. But that's interesting because it's only so much you can work off of. Four bullet holes in the back. I would say if he looked bigger than her, obviously, I would say she got him in the back when he was turned away. Maybe they were arguing. It's just a theory. They could have been arguing, and when he turned around, she shot him point blank. She probably hid the gun somewhere and then got it when he turned around. The reason I say that, because other cases we have saw, y'all, that we watched on here and read together, the women who kill men by shooting them, it's always in the back. It's in the back of the head. It's in the back, or it's like turned like the way they were turned, and it's always because the men are bigger. Like, you don't really see a woman unless he had the gun, not her, him, but unless she was facing him. I feel like it's a very rare possibility that they were face to face, she had a gun, and then he turned away from her. I doubt that happened. I bet you it was while his back was turned, or unless he was asleep on his back or asleep on his stomach and she shot him in the back. I don't know. But I really feel like she got him when he was turned away, because it's easier for her to do it. It's easier for her to kill him. And then when she got him down, he had to fall face first, and then she shoot him again 4 times. Sorry about the light, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I swear in this corner, but I love the corner, so we just got to deal with it. I don't know why it's doing that. It's weird. I'm gonna have to set up some stuff to like block the light, but that's why I turned my light down. I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all know this just, I don't know, it's annoying to me, but we'll fix it later. But when this is why I don't feel bad for this woman, because you shot him once, okay, obviously, evil, you're going to jail no matter what, but she shot him again 4 times, like 3 more times, 4 times in total. Then you cut up his body, then you cut his head off, and then they can't find the head. This is so disturbing. This is actually more disturbing. Where's the head? Like, this is a very personal case, especially after they know he had an affair and your emotions run wild. I don't know. This is crazy, though.
Files not being recovered, not being retrieved. Is that a problem?
Kids, so it's
is that
sad
unusual?
that he even cheated.
It's not unusual, but it is a problem because it can't line up with any potential weapons that they may find at the home. Did he have a gun? Did she have a gun? Was it registered to them? Whose gun was it? If they do find a gun, you don't have the projectiles to be able to compare those striations on the bullet with the muzzle of the gun. So you lose a lot of forensics there. You lose a lot of that ballistic information that you would normally have. And so, yes, it does create a problem. But what's not murky here at all is the fact that this is a homicide and that he sustained these GSWs to the back. That tells us a lot about what the shooter may have been doing and what their motives may have been. She's a woman. He's a guy. This guy's a Green Beret. He's had combat training. He's very skilled. So how did she take him down? Did she poison him first and then shoot him in the back later? We don't know until we get more reports back. But I'll tell you what's not alleged. There was planning that took place for this murder. someone had to know what to do. She has medical training and background. She works in a correctional facility, or at least has had some experience working in a correctional facility. She has access to information. She has talked to someone allegedly about what it was that she was possibly planning to do. And this was not just a spur of the moment thing. She had to have some sort of premeditation in this crime, if she truly committed it, in order to kill him, to have the means to kill him, and then to dismember his body. She didn't just dismember him and left him at the house. She had to transport this body. So at any point in this process, she could have called authorities. She could have let them know, but she didn't do any of those things. And that's the part that her defense is going to have to talk about.
Also, I didn't even think about that. I literally forgot what they did. You have her specialized in medical, and then he specialized in combat. This is actually insane when you really think about how creative you gotta get. And I hate saying creative like that, y'all, but that's realistically thinking about this. She had to really plan how to take this man down. He's specialized. He's a specialized fighter. He know how to kill. He know how to fight. He know moves. The only way she can do it is if he was sleeping or if his back was turned. That's it. You have to catch him off guard. And then when they said his body's submerged in water, certain body parts, stuff is gone, eaten by bugs or whatever. He don't have his head. When it's in the water, it disintegrates. A lot of stuff is gone. So they don't know they probably don't know what he ate that day. Even if she did poison him to knock him out. This is so interesting because so much is missing. But at the same time, minus the crime. Let's take away the crime real quick, okay? Well, take away her real quick, not the crime. The crime is kind of smart. I'm not saying her. Obviously, this is a horrible thing. I'm trying to say, if they didn't know it was her, somebody really would have got away with this if you think about it, because they don't know nothing. They only know that he died from the gunshot wound. Now, it's only to her because you're his wife, and they found out that he had an affair. They know you found out he had an affair. They found out that she was angry. They know stuff from other people. His girlfriend says something. They know this. So if she was not involved in this, I'm just saying, a whole nother theory, y'all, another story, fake story. If she was not involved in this, somebody really would have got away with it, because this was perfectly planned. Did she know that if the body's in water, it would disintegrate a lot of stuff? If you can't find the head, you can't find a lot of stuff. There's so much into this one, and it's actually crazy. And they have kids. Oh my God. Think about the kids in this situation. They're the ones who lost everything. That woman's evil. This is actually crazy.
And allegedly, right? I mean,
allegedly.
She's been charged with this. She's entitled to a defense, but it is interesting, to say the least, based on what we talked about before in the story. Now, according to the report, this is what's so eerie, right? The remains consisted only of this torso. So Bonnell's head, arms, legs, they're all missing. The autopsy states that a, quote, sharp tool, maybe even a mechanical saw, was used in the dismemberment. In addition to the missing limbs, by the way, the report notes a large 10-inch gash across the abdomen, and as Dr. Rutherford said, several organs, the stomach, the kidneys, gone. So whether they were removed during the dismemberment process or they were lost during decomposition, it remains unclear. And despite the condition of the body, the medical examiner was clear about this, that Clint Bonnell's cause of death was multiple gunshot wounds. The manner of death was homicide. The report concludes that while additional injuries may have been present but obscured by decomposition and dismemberment, the gunshot wounds alone were independently fatal. First of all, let's start there. How do they know that? How do they know it's the gunshot wounds that caused the death? I mean, okay, from a human point of view, this is so macabre to say, but if you're talking about organs being removed, I hope that the cause of death was gunshot wounds as opposed to someone feeling the dismemberment. Again, just putting that aside. But how do they know independently those were fatal, given there's a lot they don't know?
Because the heart wasn't removed and the lungs weren't removed. And so if those gunshots hit those two areas, then more than likely a person is going to bleed out without medical care. So quick, sudden, that's what you hope for. And again, like you said, scary and weird and disgusting to think about, but we hope he didn't feel any of those things. I hope it was a sudden death.
How crazy is this, y'all? Until they know, I guess you say until court come out and they find the rest of his body parts, and then her speaking up, I guess you only know so much. How scary is that? Oh my God. It was so much more to this. At first I'm like, okay, how can a woman just chop up her husband? But no, there was more to this. There's like an affair now that's him cheating, not her. This is even more crazy. Her finding out about it, they know that. Her getting mad about everything, which, you know, is rightfully so. You're mad that your husband's cheating, but why chop him up, allegedly? This is like really scary, allegedly, right? Oh my God. They don't have his head, his arms, his legs. Where is this body? She buried it somewhere. If she did this, it's buried somewhere, or she threw it out, like threw body pieces. Oh my God, I don't know. If they found his torso, I don't know what it is with people dismembering torsos. Y'all know we have talked about a couple of them. What's it called? The girl who met. I always say this one because I just know it off the top of my head. One, Sade Robinson, that one. The other guy, the other black girl who met this white guy, drove 200 miles with him to his place, and he chopped her up. They found her torso in the luggage in the water. Never open luggage in water. Call 911 if you see that. I'm not opening it. It's just so scary. How can you do that? This was never love. You do that to, if you even think about doing this to somebody, it's not love. If you think about cheating on somebody, it's not love. Be for real. This is crazy. And they got kids. They got a kid together. I think one kid. That's just scary. I don't know. This is a lot, y'all. What do y'all think? I don't know. I think I dissected it enough in here in this video because the video is long. Minus my talking at the beginning. But there's just so much mystery to this one. The biggest mystery, I guess they could say, is how she did it. Because, like they said, he specialized. She specialized in medical. You have combat, medical, somebody murdered. That's crazy. And like I said, if it was not her, like I bet it's her. Okay, but anyways, allegedly, if this is like a whole nother story, if this is another case without none of this involved, and they just find the body, that person would have got away with it because they don't have a lot of stuff. Where are the rest of his organs? What happened to his head? This light is crazy. What happened to his head? And on that note, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This mystery is like, what happened? What are your thoughts on this case? What do you think happened? Do y'all think she did it? Do y'all think she would have got away with it if they didn't know it was her? I don't know, but she was arrested. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, stay aware, and stay alert at all times. Especially if you're married. You never know what can happen. I'm not trying to scare y'all, but it could be some people behind you. Just turn around and listen. And on that note, I'll let you guys go. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.